Ready, set, go.
Hey, what's up? It has been shown to me in the last number of years of talking to people and just talking to some of my friends that some people my age and a little older, maybe a little younger, some of you listened to a band called My Chemical Romance. I don't know what it means for something to be chemical. It's weird. It's spelled exactly like chemical. Who knows what that's all about? But we're gonna be listening to one of their more notoriously, or interestingly, more notorious albums. We're listening to Danger Days, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys today. I have listened to My Chemical Romance before many times. Emmett is a very, very big fan of, and they have a couple of My Chem vinyls in our house. So I have heard a good deal of sort of the albums that they're most known for. We have vinyls of Black Parade and 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, which I know are kind of, I've been told, are kind of the quintessential My Chemical Romance albums. But I wanted to do a reaction to this album in particular because from what I have heard, it was a marked change in style, almost in genre, for the band. They went out of kind of the grungier punk sound and more into sort of a brighter pop punky sound, which is very interesting to me. I always find it fascinating whenever a band that has long been in one style of music suddenly decides to jump to another one, particularly like Paramore did when they went from their self-titled album to After Laughter. I love, self-titled album is my favorite of theirs. After Laughter is also a very underrated album in my opinion, but we're not talking about Paramore today. We're talking about My Chemical Romance. We have exactly 15 tracks. I'm not listening to the extended edition. Not gonna listen to I think the 16th track being No One Needs Another Song About California, I think is what it was called. Which I do appreciate that song title, but I wanna listen to this album in its original form, especially seeing as it is a concept album, which the band has a tendency towards. The concept being, according to Genius.com, the record is a concept album detailing the adventures of a group known as the Killjoys. The Killjoys are trying to overthrow an omnipotent company called Better Living Industries, which sell pills that claim to give people different emotions. The Killjoys are the only ones not brainwashed by their tyrannical ways, conveniently, and vow to teach the public that emotions come from the heart. I'm going to leave it at that. Leave that to be interpreted how you like. And then we're going to head straight into the first album here, or the first track here, being Look Alive, Sunshine. Let's see how this goes. Album is supposed to take just under an hour. Not too bad. Not too choppy. Great. It's time to Look Alive, Sunshine. Ooh.
Look alive, sunshine. 109 in the
Hi.
sky, but the pigs won't quit. You're here with me, Dr. Death Defying. I'll be your
Oh, hello,
surgeon, your
doctor.
your helicopter,
Okay.
pumping out the slaughtermatic sounds to keep you live. A system failure for the masses, antimatter for the master plan.
So, I don't mean to interrupt Doc Defying here. But this is apparently just a 30-second track. So I'm just going to go straight from this one into the next track, which is titled Na Na Na, in brackets, Na 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 Na. There's nine total nas in the brackets, and then 3 more as the actual song title. Back to the Good Doctor.
Louder than God's revolver and twice as shiny. This
That's
one's for
impressive.
all you rock and rollers, all you
Oh.
crash queens and motor babies.
Okay.
Listen up. The
Okay.
future is bulletproof. The aftermath is secondary. It's time to do it now and do it loud. Killjoys, make some noise.
Make some noise. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, so I'm immediately getting sort of the difference between this and their other albums. Yeah, definitely a more like, I guess you might almost call it like, I've heard the term mall punk thrown around. I don't know if this is what that is. But it's very much like more anthemic. I don't know. Just more like, party punk is what you might call it. Party punk. That makes more sense. Yeah. It's fun. There's a certain showmanship to be found in a lot of the pop punk music from this era, particularly the sort of early 2010s, mid to late aughts. That I'm a very big fan of. It's a really big indicator that a lot of like the at the time kids, because a lot of the bands were written or a lot of these bands were made up of like high school kids or people in their early 20s, just really betraying some of their theater childness, which not necessarily a bad thing, but someone like me, I can pick up on it. Game recognizes game, if you'll put it that way. Okay. Battery City. Okay. Okay. Sure. Uh-huh. I think there need to be more spoken parts in bridges. I know that's actually a very, very old tradition. Going back to the old, like, sort of bands like the Ink Spots and Ella Fitzgerald and Who Not. There were a lot of, like, the bridge would actually just be like them speaking other verses from the songs. And it's this nice kind of like pace change, this nice kind of thing of like, it's like a vocal way of signaling a change in the pace of the song. You can have your musical changes of pace in the song, which is usually why I ask, what are we doing with the bridge, right? As in, what kind of musical choices are we using in the bridge to change things up? And that is one of the things that you can do. And I think it's a fun choice. I think it's a ballsy choice. I think it can be a risk, but I think it's a risk worth taking. Oh, and that guitar is just going. All right. Okay. Oh. Nice. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Lovely. Oh, this is gonna be a fun album. Oh, I'm excited. I like this. I like these guys. I'll be like, weirdly enough, like I don't listen to them a whole lot on my own time, which is not because I don't like them. It's just like I don't have the same like nostalgic connection to the band as most of their fans do at this point. It's kind of weird in the sense that like by the time I got into them was around the time that they weren't really making much new music. I guess they recently like in the last couple, like the last year or two, they released a new single before they started touring, and that's been about it. And it doesn't seem like they intend on recording anything more. So yeah, it's a hard band for me to get into right now, but it is a band that I like. I like these guys. And this is a cool, very fun introduction to this world. I did notice from one of the explanations that this album also came with a 6-part graphic novel series, which obviously Gerard Way is a very prolific creator of graphic novel series. And we love that for him. But this is a fun introduction to that whole world. Okay, so we had Mr. Death Defying introducing things very bombastic. We got the future's bulletproof. The aftermath is secondary. It's time to do it now and do it loud. Killjoys, make some noise. Okay, as in like we don't need to worry about like what's gonna happen years from now. The aftermath of our choices is a second thought. We're just gonna do what we want and need to do, and that becomes like, Killjoys as this sort of group of rebels. The act of doing what you want and acting based on your emotions becomes its own sort of version of rebellion. Great. Okay, so verse 1 I'll look at. We have drugs. Give me drugs. Give me drugs. I don't need it, but I'll sell what you got. Take the cash, and I'll keep it. 8 legs to the wall. Hit the gas. Kill 'em all. And we crawl, and we crawl, and we crawl. You be my detonator. I don't know how much I should be reading into these lyrics, because it is still that very like sort of fun pop punk anthem kind of feel to it. Some of this just feels like a let's go, like let's go get 'em kind of feeling to it. Just sort of get you on your feet kind of song. but also like building this whole world of like of sort of this drug economy, a lot of car racing, explosives. The one chorus that stuck out to me was the one near the end here, which is, after the Nas, you run the company, fuck like a Kennedy, I think we'd rather be burning your information. Let's blow an artery, eat plastic surgery, keep your apology, give us more detonation. Yeah, this whole thing of like, let's freak out. I feel like they're referring to plastic surgery as something that like kind of limits the ability of your face to really express as much as it could. Keep your apology, give us more detonation, give us more explosiveness, more pizzazz. The bridge is right here, right now, all the way in Battery City, where we lay our scene. The little children raise their open, filthy palms like tiny daggers up to heaven, and all the juvie halls and the Ritalin rats ask angels made from neon and fucking garbage scream out, what will save us? And the sky opened up. So kind of painting this picture of this like younger generation trying to find some sense of like meaning and enjoyment out of this sort of post-apocalyptic world that is very much fueled by mostly drugs, as far as I can tell. Yeah, the final chorus being, ignoring the Nas, make no apology, it's death or victory, on my authority, crash and burn, young and loaded. Drop like a bullet shell, dress like a sleeper cell, I'd rather go to hell than be in purgatory, cut my hair, gag and bore me, pull this pin, let this world explode. So this is really the sort of modus operandi of the fabulous Killjoys, is what we're looking at. Is dress nice, blow up a lot of things, feel what you want to feel, is what we're dealing with, as far as I can tell. Great, good times. We're gonna keep moving here to, we're gonna move on to Bulletproof Heart. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I really like the synths. I think this is a really cool, they're setting up a really cool like aesthetic of this album of like sort of bright neon-y, like a slightly more colorful Fallout, I think is what they're going for. That kind of feel. Let me know in the comments if I'm kind of hitting the button on that, or if not. Ooh. Okay.
Got a bulletproof heart.
Okay.
You got a hollow point smile. Me and your runaway scars got a photograph of treating on the getaway mile. Ever wanna come back and let me be the one to say you
Okay.
told me too much to me.
All right.
Who I've got to be.
Okay. So far, obviously, I'm only like 2.5 tracks in, but if this is one of those albums that people may have been like sort of upon first listen a little disappointed by. I think I get it. It definitely doesn't hit quite as hard as their other stuff does, but I do think, like, I appreciate the fact that like the style of it fits the narrative sort of aesthetic of the album. You know, I think that if they were gonna do this sort of like more like neon radioactive album story, that their earlier style might not have necessarily fit that as much. So on one hand, I definitely like the sound of their other albums, but I get what they're going for here, and I appreciate it in its own sense. Okay. Ooh. Oh. 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 Okay, also, and this is something that I've heard from their other stuff. These guitar solos are so much fun. They're so much fun, especially as soon as they get the friggin' harmonics or the harmonies in there. Oh. Sets my soul ablaze. Ooh, that's a sound. Also, I'm noticing in a couple of these pre-choruses, they're mentioning a couple names. We've had a Jenny, and then we've also had a Johnny, both of whom apparently are being asked to come back home. I'll get into it once I get into the lyrics, but I'm interested in the story element of this song particularly. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Oh, we're getting into a little bit of minor. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Those are some good dropouts right there. Nice. Cool. Oh, this is such a fun album so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. Great. Let's see what Genius has to say about this album. This album's been out for 13 years. Let's first find out about these names. What are these all about? Okay, this is a reference to a Killers song titled Jenny Was a Friend of Mine. In the song, Jenny wants to run away from the writer, so he ends up murdering her. Here the story is twisted, as Jenny has already ran, and Gerard wants to save her by running with her. Nice. Okay, and then moving on to Johnny. What's Johnny's issue? This line may have two possible inspirations. On one hand, It could be a reference to the song When Johnny Comes Marching Home, as the song talks of people's longing for their relatives to return home from war. Time back to the album's larger concept about the outlaw gang, killjoys fighting the oppressive better living industries. This could possibly be a plea from their loved ones who want them to stop fighting their war and come home. On the other hand, it is possibly a reference to The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, which is a very good book and play and movie. When one of the protagonists, Johnny Cade, runs away from home after killing a man on the run from the police. The book is also centered on the lives of a small gang of teenagers called the Greasers, who are not accepted by society. A similarity also. Yeah, that sounds better. That sounds a little bit more fitting as a reference. That makes sense. Cool. Okay, so this is kind of this whole song being about like supporting these people that have kind of found themselves on the run or on the road, either protecting themselves for their own good, like in Jenny's case, or they're just sort of having to deal with the unfortunate consequences of their actions, like in the case of Johnny from The Outsiders. That's cool. And to have like whatever character Gerard Way might play in this situation, having him be that character that comes alongside them and is like, I will run with you, is really cool. The chorus being, gravity don't mean too much to me, I'm who I've got to be, these pigs are after me, after you, run away like it was yesterday, when we could run away, when we could run away from here. Yeah, it's this sort of like finding fellowship in the common element of being on the run, right? Like, there are people after me, there are people after you, let's run together. And I think that's really, really nice. Looking at the bridge goes, and though I know how much you hate this, are you going to be the one to save us from the black and hopeless feeling? Will you mean it when the end comes reeling? Hold your heart into this darkness. Will it ever be the light to shine you out, or fail and leave you stranded? I ain't going to be the one left standing. You ain't going to be the one left standing. We ain't going to be the ones left standing. What the frick does any of this mean? So it's literally just saying, like, we're probably not going to survive this whole ordeal. So let's just run while we can. Interesting. Okay. Cool little story beat there. We're going to keep moving along then to track number 4, which is titled Sing, in all caps. Oh, that's fun. Okay. 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 We're building. Okay. All right. I think the rhythm that they're using, the sort of central, like, hang on, let me listen to it again to. Right, so they've got this sort of like rolling rhythm that they've got going, the sort of do do ga do ga da ga do do that sort of thing. I think it works better in the verses than it does in the chorus. I understand that they're trying to keep that sort of like steady momentum through the whole song, and I understand that. I'm curious as to what they're gonna do with the bridge. But I think it works really, really well in the verses. It's because in the verses they go into the sort of minor chords, and it's this very like slow building thing of like there's almost a sense of danger going on there. And then when it opens up into the chorus, I don't know. I mean, the chorus's lyrics are undoubtedly very cheesy, but I think I'm not going to criticize this album for being cheesy. I think it's just a side effect of like earnest songwriting in rock music. I think it's just, yeah, it is what it is. But I think musically, I don't know if it needs to be that open. I feel like they could have gone a little bit more up tempo, a little bit quicker, a little bit more intense with this chorus. And still maintain the sort of like inspiring tone that it seems like they're trying to go for. Let's see what they're doing with the bridge. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Interesting. This is cool. This is cool. Like I said, we're back into the minor key. And it works way better. It locks in really, really nicely with that sort of like foreboding feeling that the like doop doop good doop good. It's almost got this sort of anticipatory feeling to it. That works really, really well with these parts of the songs. But as soon as you get to that opening, like sort of climax, almost resolution, it kind of loses its impact. But this bridge is cool. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Unless they do something really mind-blowing in these next couple choruses, I think I have a pretty good idea of how the rest of the song is gonna sound, and my theory as to my feelings on sort of the non-chorus parts of the song being the best use of that rhythm are definitely feeling validated. Oh, we still got 30 seconds here. Oh, all right, keep going. Nice. Back into the minor key. Like I said, it sounds so much cooler. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll stand by the points that I made there. This is just sort of this whole song just being a thing of like, don't let the mundanity of your life get you down. They're gonna try and tell you what you can and cannot do. Don't listen to them. Make sure you express yourself. Sing for the boys, sing it to the girls. Just keep singing. Make sure that you're heard. And I agree with that. Great. We're going to move on to track number 5, which is called Planetary, in brackets, Go. Okay. Where are we going? Are we going planetary? I feel like that's what we're looking forward to here. Is we're going planetary. Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
There might be something outside your window.
All right.
Just never know.
Okay.
Could be something right past the turnpike gates, but you'll just never know.
Won't I?
My velocity starts to make you sweat, then just don't let go.
Okay. All right.
Heaven ain't got a vacancy, then we just get up and go.
Oh. Hell yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so nice to see a freaking pop punk song that's using the freaking. It's such a fun beat to play. Oh, that's so much fun. I'm so glad that this album has something like that, because that's a really strong choice. Oh. Ooh. Oh, this goes. Oh. Oh my gosh. These guys are not fucking around. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, this is party punk. This is what it is. This is the essential party punk song. This is what that sounds like. I don't know if party punk is already a term that people have thrown around, but if it is, hopefully this is what it's described as, because I feel like that's the best descriptor of what I'm listening to, and it's so fun. It's so fun. Like, I don't think I can listen to this and be in a bad mood, right? It's so fun. Oh. All right. Oh. Okay. That guitar strumming is just very like very bright, like pop rock sort of feel to it. Very like almost very like disco inspired almost. The sort of like such a fun sound. Ooh. Yes. No. Okay. Oh. I'm... Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That might be my favorite song so far. That was such a blast. That was so much fun. Ah. Got a smile on my face. Great. Let's just take a look at this here. Interesting. They're trying to say a lot of things here. Verse 1, we got ladies and gentlemen. Truth is now acceptable, which that's good to know. Fame is now injectable. Processed progress. This core is critical. Faith is unavailable. Lives become incredible. Wow. Now, please understand that. I can't slow down. I won't be waiting for you. I can't stop now because I'm dancing. This planet's ours to defend. Ain't got no time to pretend. Don't fuck around. This is our last chance. And then the pre-chorus is, if my velocity starts to make you sweat, then just don't let go. Because the emergency room got no vacancy, and we just get up and go. And then chorus is, who they want you to be, who they wanted to see, kill the party with me and never go home. Who they want you to be, who they wanted to see, just leave the party with me and never go home. Okay, so this is almost more about like, you know, the expectations of who you can present yourself to be, and sort of self-policing your own image, or whatever that means in the in world, because it does look like they're using a lot of the sort of common vocabulary of the world that the album is written in, which I suppose is Battery City. Like he's still talking about like velocity, a lot of like sort of go fast, cargo fast kind of stuff. The core is critical, as in a nuclear power plant core. Now I'm realizing it. So kind of sticking to that piece of the aesthetic of the album. Planet's ours to defend, you know, sort of the idea of this like team of kids that are gonna save society, all that packaged into you know, this song about if you're unhappy with what people are expecting from you, you don't have to spend time with them. You can just come over, hang out with me. I'm dealing with the same stuff. We can run together, as referenced in Bulletproof Heart. Great. That was so much fun. Such a blast. There's an annotation here. In this song, Gerard is stressing how short life is. He doesn't feel as if he can wait around for others without wasting his time. His life is moving so fast, it's just like a rush he couldn't afford to miss out on without the least bit of regret. Okay, I guess I get that angle. But yeah, I'm getting more of a sense of like there seemed to be another element of like, don't waste your time on worrying about like what people expect from you. Just kind of, because yeah, life is short, and that is going to be a waste of your time. So just do what you gotta do and go. Cool. We're moving on to track number 6, titled "The Only Hope for Me Is You." Big synth. Ooh, we got some sci-fi sounds right here. Okay. Ooh, big intro. All right, hi Gerard. Okay. A lot of environment happening here. Ooh. Okay. I like those dirty synths right there. That's a good sound.
Where will you stand when all the lights go out across these city streets? Where were you when all of the embers fell? I still remember them.
Interesting.
Covered in ash, covered in glass, covered in...
I like the way they're building this. I like having like the synths come in right away with sort of the like da da da. And then you've got the sort of steadiness of the electric guitar come in with the bass. These are some good layers. Layers.
All my friends I still think of the bombs they built.
Mm. Sometimes this may happen a couple times over the course of this album, but I'll be listening to Gerard's vocals and just like get the strongest dose of that of the punk sort of vocal style of like, can I be the only hope for you? That kind of like enunciation. It's not a bad thing. It's a in a lot of cases it's a stylistic choice. Sometimes it's just a American regional accent bleeding into your vocals. Nothing wrong with that. That honestly is what makes a lot of singers' voices as iconic as they are. I'm sure Gerard is a good example of that, but it is definitely like those pronunciations of those words is found in a lot of punk bands. And so sometimes I notice it a little bit more than other parts. Ooh. Oh, this is a good breakdown. Ooh, the bassist and the drummer get to shine, as they should. Ooh. Okay, and then we're building. There we go, there's the dropout. Yep. There it is, yeah. And I'll be very clear, like, that little moment where I'm able to, like, kind of predict what's about to happen, that's not me, like, shitting on the song. Just because something is predictable does not mean it's bad, right? Yeah, is that some sort of, like, a musical cliche to have that sort of drop out and then, drop back in on where they did? Sure it is, but it's cliche. A lot of the times it's a cliche because it works, because it sounds really fun. It's fun to play. Speaking as a drummer, those sort of like drops back in, so much fun to play. Do you find that choice in a million other songs? Absolutely, but it works. It's great as long as you know why you're doing it, as long as it makes sense in the context of the song. Go freaking nuts. Do the dropout and then drop back in. Don't do it for every song. Please do not do it for every song. But, like, if it makes sense in, like, a couple songs, go ahead. More power to you. I hear that guitar solo. Nice. Nice. Cool. Interesting. Nice. That was great. That was a fun song. I'm gonna use the term "fun" a lot, mostly because it's a fun album. It's a very bright, fun, like get up and go kind of album. But yeah, my main thoughts are kind of on that dropout. I love the sort of like layering stuff that they did at the beginning. There seems to be a little bit of a reflection on whatever happened before the apocalypse. For example, in verse 1, we have, where will you stand when all the lights go out across these city streets? Where were you when all of the embers fell? I still remember them, covered in ash, covered in glass, covered in all my friends. I still think of the bombs they built. So, yeah, now it's being revealed that, like, this is a group of people that have survived sort of this nuclear holocaust and occasionally have to deal with the trauma of that, as one would. And that sort of trauma has now created this attitude of like, can I depend on you? Can you depend on me? Because I'm gonna need to depend on you. It is definitively codependent. You, like, it's expressing a need to be needed, right? And I understand that in the circumstances of the story of this album. I get it. In a world like this, providing for and protecting others is a reliable motivation to keep yourself alive. In normal circumstances, maybe not the healthiest approach to a relationship. You should be able to, like, hopefully take care of yourself emotionally and mentally, but if you can't make emotional stability yourself, store-bought is fine. We'll keep going here. The about section here. Instead of standing strong, defiant, and unafraid, Gerard exposes a more delicate side of the Killjoys. He becomes more aware of his looming mortality, and when he dies, he wants only to be remembered as a champion of the rebellion. Yeah, I get it. You want to know that when you died, your presence was valued and has left a positive impact on the people you are leaving behind. I get that. Okay, so we've got another sort of interlude here. So I'm going to go straight from Jetstar and the Kobra Kids / Traffic Report straight into Party Poison. So let's go here.
Bad news from the zones, tumbleweeds.
Is this the doctor
Jetstar
again?
and the Cobra Kid had a clap with an exterminator that went all Costa Rica and got themselves ghosted, dusted out on Route Guano. So it's time to hit the red line and up-thrust the volume out there. Keep your boots tight, keep your gun close, and die with your mask on if you've got to. Here is the traffic.
Noted. Thank you. Oh boy. All right. Oh. All right. I don't usually pause for lyrics, but I would like to make it known right away as to what that was. That translates to everyone. The car has a full tank, so we're packing the explosives in a suitcase. Life is short, and there are many dangers on the roads we travel, so let's dance. Great. Thank you for that. Moving on. Oh, wow. A guitar solo right away. Immediately. Nice. Ooh. Nice. Ah. Oh, that's fun. These guys are like just so good at like maintaining energy, right? And that's something that I've like often kind of gotten on punk bands for in the past, is like you know, albums that feel like they kind of hit a peak early on and then they just kind of plateau at that high, and then the whole album ends up sounding kind of the same. And these guys have like or they're making like just enough different choices between songs, which is not to say that they're not doing the same things from one song to another. It's punk. It's punk music. There are certain rhythms that are just commonly used in punk music, but they're separated enough from each other that it doesn't feel super repetitive. They're keeping things varied enough that they can sort of more tactfully hide those sort of punk music, like musical cliches, in a way that still feels creative and makes sense for each song. Ooh. Oh. That drummer is just, ooh, he's here to play, and he's playing. Oh. Oh. Hang on. Once again, we're going to translate that right away. You want to be famous? Seriously? I want to live forever. I'm going to explode. Which I suppose, if that's how you want to become famous. Not sure I recommend it, but I guess it is one way to do that. So, not much I can do about it now. This album came out 13 years ago. Whatever could have been done about it would have been done. Okay. And then we've got more. I think this is Japanese. Where the lyrics are, "Let's dance together until our bodies are sore." And then they repeat that a couple times. Now that you know. Ah. We had ourselves an explosion. I see. Okay, so something happened plot-wise here. There was a traffic report of Jetstar and the Kobra Kid getting blown up in some sort of conflict, and now it sounds as though we gotta get moving here. Let's see if there's some sort of description in the about section here. Okay, so this track is named after Gerard Way's Killjoy alter ego, Party Poison. Okay. So this is maybe like something of not a theme song, but like it is particularly having to do with his character. And maybe it is something of a theme song. And now he's kind of swooping in, things are blowing up, we can't waste time. We're gonna be jamming out while we get ourselves out of the city and away from this explosion, because according to the chorus, this ain't a party. Get off the dance floor. You want the get down? Here comes the gang war. You're doing all right. I got the answer, because all the good times, they give you cancer. I feel like that's Party Poison being like, you want to stick around? You want to find out You want to fuck around and find out? Because if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. You want to like see what happens after everyone's left for safety. You're gonna deal with the consequences. I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna look good doing it, but you do what you like. It's just kind of a thing of like, you think you're looking for a good time, but you're just gonna get poisoned. You're just gonna get cancer is what you're gonna get. So Party Poison, he ain't sticking around to get hurt. Great. All right, we're moving on to track 9, titled Save Yourself, I'll Hold Them Back, which sounds like Plot if I've ever heard them. Okay. Ooh, this is foreboding. This is ominous. Ooh. Ooh. That's very cool. That's a very long and complicated intro guitar line. Nice. This is fun. I think that might be one of the most like stereotypically emo song lyrics I've ever heard. And again, I usually wait to talk about lyrics, but you're a heart attack in black hair dye. Really, Gerard? Okay, all right. I'm gonna let these kids have their fun, but. Just reading that in ye old age of 2023 is a whole other experience. I am ready where I'm at. Oh, you're coming for me? Ooh. Ooh. Oh my gosh, their guitarist, which I'm assuming, hang on, lead guitar, Ray Toro. Lovely done. So well done, Ray. Big props to you, Ray. Big fan. Keep up the great work. Nice. Okay. It's just non-stop jams. It's just oops all jams. Thematically, the song is oriented around empowering the band's fans to conquer the hate and oppression that their community receives from the world as a whole. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Back when liking My Chemical Romance was not cool, I guess. The song has correspondence to the band's hit song Welcome to the Black Parade. Both songs influence their fans to dismiss the idea of conformity and also tell them to disregard anyone who looks down on them. Yes, very, very common themes in the world of pop punk in general. So, nice. Okay. Yeah, so the chorus goes, "We can leave this world, leave it all behind. We can steal this car if your folks don't mind. We can live forever if you've got the time. You're the broken glass in the morning light. Be a burning star if it takes all night. So just save yourself and I'll hold them back tonight." Particularly tonight. I don't know what you're doing like tomorrow evening, maybe tomorrow afternoon, but at least tonight you can save yourself. I'll be okay. I'll be fine. I'll hold them back. Yeah. Just this whole thing of them singing to their fans and being like, hey, you're going to be okay. Don't worry about the haters that we had in the early 2010s. They're all old now. They along with all of you My Chem fans, we're all 13 years older now. I realize you as a My Chem fan might not want to think about the fact that you are 13 years older, and that this album came out 13 years ago, but those are numbers. Nothing I can do about it. Right. We're gonna keep moving to Scarecrow with all the letters separated by slashes. Who the frick knows what this is all about? Is this another character? Maybe it is. I don't know. Let's find out. Oh. Okay. Oh. This is different. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Alright. Feels a little bit like they're going to be holding on to this sort of tempo, this kind of rhythm through the song. We'll see if they change it up later on. I think there is in fact a bridge. So we'll find out what they're doing with that when we get there. Until then. I find it interesting that he's using that sort of like weird sort of garbling effect on his voice. Very much, it's as someone that has had to edit audio a little bit, I think he's just making the audio like more wet, for lack of a better term. Just like really turning that dial in the direction of wet. And having a sense of what this song is about, that effect works quite nicely. Oh. Okay. All right. Oh, there's... Cool. Nice. Cool. Oh. Oh. Okay. Alright. Nice. Ooh, they're going big here. And then kind of leave it. Ooh, with the acoustic there. Interesting. Cool. Okay, so I snuck a peek at the about. The 10th track of this album, being Scarecrow, can be interpreted as a reaction to an atomic bomb blowing up the world, inspired by real events and applied to the desolation of the desert surrounding Battery City in the Killjoy universe. In the world of the Killjoys, the Scarecrow unit is a squadron comparable to a police force led by the leader of Better Living Industries. Yeah. Okay. So why is this named after Scarecrow? Okay, so is this Scarecrow's choice to drop this bomb? Is this their work? Is the dropping of this bomb? Maybe? I don't know. But a lot of the lyrics here make sense that it's this reaction to a nuclear bomb. And it's interesting because they make the choice of like it being a very like melancholy song. If you're just kind of like, wow, well, there it is. There it goes. And then just this back thing of like, everybody hide, everybody better get away, shut up and run with me. Don't worry about the shape I'm in. It'll be okay. We gotta get. We should probably go. You know, it's got this sort of like dreamy quality to it, particularly like the verse 2. Blow a kiss at the methane skies. See the rust through your playground eyes. We're all in love tonight. Leave a dream where the fallout lies. Watch it grow where the tear stain dries. To keep you safe tonight. Okay, yeah, everybody hide your body from the Scarecrow in the chorus. So, this is the work of that police force in the world. Okay, good to know. Cool. Not my favorite track, but it's a strong story point. Paints the picture in a very interesting way. Good stuff. Yeah. Moving on to Summertime, which is a nice, hopefully pick me up from this past song. Oh, absolutely. Hopefully, still. Okay. All right. Yeah, this sounds a little bit brighter, a little hopeful. There we go. Okay. Still a little bit on the slower tempo. Still not quite back in full jam mode, but we're getting back to a little bit more positive, which is nice. Ah. Okay, yeah, this is a nice, just kind of like wholesome, hopeful song. Doesn't have to be that fast. Doesn't have to be a crazy fun jam. It's just kind of it's a song about friendship in a little bit more reflective sort of tone. I like that. Okay. Oh, I'm dropping out here. This is nice. Ooh. Okay. Nice. Ooh. Very smooth. Oh. So this is something that I appreciate about that guitar solo is when you think of this guitar solo, you might often think of like sort of the, you know, the guitarists getting their time to shine, their time to pull some impressive licks off or whatever, kind of their time to show off. And I think there are a lot of guitarists that approach it that way, but that guitar solo was not a solo from someone that was trying to show off. That solo was a guitarist doing a solo in a way that still fits the pace and tone of the song. It would have been weird if, like, we have the rest of this very, like, sort of vulnerable, very sentimental sounding song, and then all of a sudden you have a complete tempo change, and all of a sudden he's ripping away, doing the most impressive solo that he can. That wouldn't have fit. That wouldn't have fit with the song. And so even though it doesn't necessarily sound as technically impressive, it works better for the song itself than if he had tried to go for a crazier solo. Crazier or more impressive does not necessarily mean better for the song. I think that's something that people can maybe forget sometimes. Oh, nice. And then we got a nice little outro. Aww. Oh, that's cute. Up until this point, most of these songs have been really, really fun. That song was cute. That was very, very cute. And wouldn't you know it, allegedly believed to be written about Gerard Way's wife, Lindsay. Aw, that's nice. That's so good. We love sneaking in a little love song to your spouse. That's some good stuff. We love that. We support punk rockers writing songs about their spouses. That's good stuff. And I mean, with that reading, it's still sort of following the sort of vocabulary of the album of, like, you know, you can run away with me. That whole act of just always being on the run, and bringing the people that are important with you. They're still kind of keeping that going, or until my heart explodes, you know, like the explosion that we just had in the previous song. They're keeping everything in the same musical color palette, you might say, which is nice, including that guitar solo, which was very fitting for the song, and the color palette of the song. Hopefully that makes sense when I talk about color palettes of a song. Like, you know, I hope that translates of, like, the different sort of sets of tones that you'll find, not just in a song, but in an album as a whole. Kind of what a lot of the time when you're planning an album, you ask yourself, like, what kind of tones, what kind of themes are we touching on in this whole album, and what should we set ourselves out to do with each song that fits into that. Particularly with something like a concept album, where there is a sort of narrative in mind, is understanding where each song fits into the narrative. Not every song needs to fit into the narrative. Like, I don't know if, like, maybe there is an interpretation for Summertime that fits with the narrative of the Killjoys. I don't know if it needs to, but it could. But I like the interpretation of this just being Gerard's song about his wife. I think that's sweet. Including the verse 1. When the lights go out, will you take me with you and carry all this broken bone through 6 years down in crowded rooms and highways I call home? Is something I can't know till now, till you pick me off the ground with brick in hand, your lip gloss smile, your scraped up knees. And it goes into the chorus. And if you stay, I would wait all night, or until my heart explodes. How long until we find our way in the dark and out of harm? You can run away with me anytime you want. Which is just adorable. The first verse, you got this thing of like, you know, carry all this broken bones, kind of acknowledging the sort of the wear and tear of being a fairly popular professional musician, and the wear and tear of touring, of just being in the music industry, and having this person with you that can kind of help carry you through that. It's a very sweet image. Verse 2 is terrified of what I'd be as a kid from what I've seen every single day when people try and put the pieces back together just to smash them down, turn my headphones up real loud. I don't think I need them now because you stopped the noise. But that's so sweet. You know, that idea, that the fact that like you used to have this like coping mechanism of just trying to drown all of the stresses of life out, just trying to shut them all out, put on your headphones and try to just not be affected by them. But the fact that he has someone that has a way of calming him down from that is very, very valuable. So that's good stuff. That's some cute shit right there. All right, moving on to track 12, Destroya. It is, in fact, destroy with the letter A on the end of it. Ooh, what is that? Interesting. Ooh, they're doing some cool percussive stuff here. Hello. All right. All right. Ooh. Okay. We're picking up the pace. Hello. I can hear you. I can hear you in both. You're on both sides here, Gerard. Ooh. For some reason, that whole like intro and then the first verse like reminded me a bit of Rage Against the Machine. I know they're in like, you know, they're sort of punk adjacent, different areas of the world of punk, but they're still both punk. But something about the sort of like half spoken, half sung lyrics in verse 1, as well as the whole like check business, was giving me Rage Against the Machine vibes. Ooh. Okay. All right. Okay, Gerard. Nice. It is nice to get back into the sort of like up-tempo jams that they had in the first half of this album. It's a welcome return. Ooh. Ooh, interesting. Oh. We're heading for another guitar solo. Here we go. Here it is. Oh, that was it. Alright, fun. Ooh, they're going hard here. Nice. Ooh. I love those rolling drums. Okay. That shaker too is a nice touch. Cool. Interesting song. Okay, let's see what this is looking like. Okay. Destroya is a self-empowering anthem about finding faith in yourself and rising against all odds. It talks about changing the future despite your status or reputation. Also a very, very common theme in punk music. The word Destroya could also relate to Gerard Way's comic book series, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, in which Destroya is a robotic god worshipped by the robotic inhabitants of a post-apocalyptic-esque city. The robots preach that one day Destroya will free them all from the city they're bound to. Okay. Is Destroya a good character or a bad character? I guess I'd have to read the series to find out. But that's a interesting character to have perceived as the savior from this strange post-apocalyptic world. Very, very fascinating. So yeah, as far as the changing the future despite your status or reputation, that kind of falls in with the what I'll call I guess what is referred to as the pre-chorus, which is you don't believe in God, I don't believe in luck. They don't believe in us, but I believe we're the enemy. And this thing of they don't think we amount to much, but we believe that we actually pose a threat, right? We can actually enact change in this world, even though they don't consider us to have that much power. Yeah, so verse 1, don't believe what they say, we're dead flies in the summertime. They leave us all behind with duct tape scars on my honey. They don't like who you are, you won't like where we'll go. Brother, protect me now, with blood they wash in the money. Right, so all of this character's enemies being these very high status, high privilege entities that are looking on the Killjoys as just a bunch of kids that won't actually make much change. Cool. Okay, we're gonna move on to track number 13, The Kids from Yesterday. Great. Find out about who these kids are. Ooh. Okay, we got some sampled drums. Very. Alright. Almost reminds me a little bit of a Muse sound with the synths and those drums. Ooh. Okay, this is very different. I was not expecting this, but I like it. This is kind of a bop. That's a very interesting snare sound. Like, it's definitely, they've got a regular snare, and then they've got some sort of, like, I don't know if it's a cowbell or some sort of, like, hollow metal thing that they're also layering on top of it. It's weird to hear it, like, consistently through. I don't know if I wouldn't say I don't like it, but it's definitely a weird thing to get used to. Oh. Okay, we're back to the sample drums. What are we doing with the bridge? Ooh. Oh. Okay. I don't know if I like the fact that they've been keeping that weird cowbell or whatever it is layered on top of the snare the whole song. I don't know. It's a little too, takes me out of it a little bit. Maybe it's just something in the sample that they found. I don't know if it works the whole way through, but that's a pretty nitpicky thing for me. Oh. For a second there, I felt like they were fading out. Okay. So it's definitely just layered directly on top of every single snare hit, because he just did a big like snare fill, and that sound was layered directly on top of every single hit, which means it's not just like a second piece of the drum kit that he just had access to through the song and was playing on at the same time as every snare hit. They literally just like hit the thing and put that song on top of every single snare hit. Like I said, don't know if I much care for it. I know I'm fixating on a very, very little thing. That's the thing that's sticking out to me. There's another thing in the lyrics that I'll talk about later, but musically, especially since it's been pretty much like the rest of the band is doing so mostly the same things for the whole song, I am left to sit and just listen to the drums, because wouldn't you know it, that's what a drummer does. Ooh. We've still got like 40 seconds. What are they doing with this? Oh. 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 Still going. Okay. That's cool. I like that. And then they are fading it out. Okay. Cool. Okay. My last thought on the weird sound layered over the snare that I've just now had is they're probably trying to go for sort of like a junkyard sound, maybe for that song, which is why they would want it to sound a little bit more like you're just like hitting a trash can or something, which makes sense. I think it's just the fact that it's the exact same sound played over every snare hit, which is also a thing that you'll run into if you're using like a cheaper electric drum kit. You know, that's kind of the main reason that I prefer a acoustic kit, is because it sounds more organic. You know, there's just that slight bit more variety to it. It's a little bit of a pretentious preference, but that's just me. And it does end up, like, if you have these sort of sampled things, it does start to feel a little artificial. It starts to feel very produced, right? Which is maybe not necessarily the feel that you want for an album like this. Not to say that it should sound underproduced, but an album about a ragtag bunch of kids, and you're trying to make it sound sort of more junkyardy, like they're just running around using whatever they can as a drum, having it instead sound like something that has been technologically layered on top of every single snare hit. It's maybe not necessarily the move, but again, that's just me. The one line, actually, I'll first check out the About section here. The Kids from Yesterday is a song in which the men of My Chemical Romance look back on their past. Bassist Mikey Way reveals, "The song allows me to reflect on my entire life, being a kid, growing up, learning about the universe, entering adulthood, and pondering the future. In that respect, it acts as a time capsule / time machine in my mind. Countless memories pour out of me that I hadn't thought about in decades or had seemingly almost forgotten." Cool. I love those songs where you can kind of just take stock of stuff that you've been through. You know, take a moment and think about all the things you've seen and done and thought about and experienced and felt, the works, you know, and thinking about how all of those things have kind of led up to where you are right now and who you are right now, and how your story is still not finished. There are plenty of other things that can make you what you will be in the future. But there was one line that really stuck out to me. Verse 2, "All the cameras watch the accidents and stars you hate. They only care if you bleed. Does the television make you feel the pills you ate, or every person that you need to be?" Kind of looking at, so that first half, "All the cameras watch the accidents and stars you hate. They only care if you bleed," which I think that's still true, but I think it's now only half the story. I think, yes, the media does like to focus on, you know, the negative aspect of celebrities and incidents, and, you know, various celebrities that have gone into this weird phase or made this mistake. But I also think the media also has a hand in idolizing these a lot of other people, you know. I think honestly, I think that My Chemical Romance is a good example of that, you know. Mikey and Gerard and the rest of the boys of My Chemical Romance are not perfect people. Maybe they're nice, maybe they're pleasant to interact with on, you know, most days, but they're human beings just like the rest of us. They got to where they are because of some amount of talent, but also a lot of luck. People discount the amount of luck that you need in order to get into the place in the music industry that they have managed to get to, which is not to discount their talent, but there are a lot of just as, if not more talented people than My Chemical Romance that have not found fame, right? That are maybe a little bit more pleasant people. It's the thing of, like, fame or success does not always mean you have earned, the status of idol. I don't think anyone can really earn the status of idol, and I don't think anyone should. I don't think actors or musicians, speaking as someone who has been both, I I don't think it helps either side for us to be idolized. It doesn't help the fans, because idolizing us can not only make weird parasocial relationships with your audience, of there can be weird like gatekeeping and stifling of any sort of criticism within the fandom of the band, even if the band hypothetically like makes a mistake or does something wrong, or maybe just people in the fandom have differing opinions on what things should or shouldn't sound like. But also it doesn't help the artists themselves either, because we're just trying to be human beings, and they've got the two-edged sword of, when we make a mistake, people freak out about the mistake, or people idolize us so much that like that sort of like godlike status gets to our head, and that inevitably leads to a mistake, or at least certainly affects our mental health, of creating these like unattainable expectations for ourselves. It's a bad time either way. And so I think the idea of just demystifying performers and artists of all kinds is a good way to go. If like, it's like the bit that Bo Burnham talked about, where like he talks about how some comedians and artists will say like, my fans have been with me for better or for worse, and he literally says, do not stick with me for better or for worse. If I am not doing my job, kick me to the curb and find someone else to enjoy. Like, if I'm not doing my job in a way that is good, you are not obligated to continue consuming my art. You're just not. If you don't like my videos, this is me, if you don't like my videos, or if I say something that you don't like, you are under no obligation to stick it through. Okay? I want to free you of that. And I want to free myself of that. That, like, if you don't like something, no one's telling you to stick to it. Maybe people are telling you to stick to it. You don't have to. Alright? Cool. We are going to move to the final part of the album, because I'm pretty sure there's another, like, interlude here. Yeah. So we've got a 2-minute track called Goodnight, Dr. Death, followed by the final track on the album, Vampire Money. So we're going to just go straight from Goodnight, Dr. Death right into Vampire Money. Here we go.
All right, children. The
Hi.
lights are out and the party's over.
Okay.
It's time for me, Dr. D, to start running and say goodbye for a little while.
All right, fair enough.
I know you're gonna miss me, so I'll leave you with this.
Okay.
You know that big ball of radiation we call the sun?
Yeah.
Well, it'll burst you into flames if you stay in one place too long.
Oh.
That is if the static don't get you first.
Okay.
So remember, even if you're dusted, you may be gone. But out here in the desert, your shadow lives on without you.
Oh.
This is Dr. Death Defying, signing off.
Okay, bye-bye, Doc. All right. Oh. No. Just realized I'm Canadian. I don't need to salute. I barely even salute my own national anthem. Please don't tell me it does the entire American anthem. Like, I understand for the story bit, like maybe they're committing to the choice, but I don't want to have to sit here and listen to the entire American national anthem. Don't want to do that. So I'm gonna, if regardless of, I'm gonna skip ahead if they do. I'm going to skip ahead in the video if they just do the entire national anthem and nothing changes. But if something changes, you'll know. You'll know, because we'll cut to that. All right? Great. Okay. All right. I'm glad I listened all the way through that. That was a fun choice at that very, very last note there. Nicely done. All right, Vampire Money. Frank. Okay. Mikey. Nice. Nice. We love a good old friggin' ballroom blitz style intro. Oh. Nice. Okay. Nice. This is a very sort of like, it's a punk take on a very like classic rock sort of sound, including that like just sort of like steady like eighth notes on the piano. Is a fun piece of that sound. All right. Ooh. Oh, here we go into the guitar solo. Nice. Oh. So much fun. Nice. Okay, what I was gonna say is, yeah, just to the whole, like, the sound that they're going for in the song is very much like a punk take on that sort of, like, 50s, 60s style, like, rock and roll, sort of style. That's sort of like Johnny B. Good sort of style music, but a little bit crunchier for the punk of it all. I'm not looking at you, Gerard. Okay. Nice. It's not. You don't have to. It's okay. No need to apologize. Nice. Ah. What a way to end an album. Ooh. Nice. Ah, that was lovely. Okay. Great. What a fun song. What a fun final song. Just a jam. Okay, Vampire Money steps outside of the Danger Days story. Alright, good to know. Presents a more straightforward, punky track with lyrical themes about the allure of mass appeal and its relation to artistic expression. Nice. Specifically, it was inspired by the massive popularity of the Twilight franchise and the band's views on what it would mean to sell out and write a song just for a movie's soundtrack, debating if it would be worth creating a brand new song at the behest of boardroom executives trying to be hip with the kids, or if it would be better to do their own thing. Okay. All right. Fair enough. I mean, I don't know if you need to throw that much shade on Paramore, but Fair enough. Apparently they had been asked to write a song for Twilight, as their band aesthetic had once been similar to vampires, but they turned it down. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. If it's not something you're into, it doesn't have to be anything you're into. Great. And then that's sort of that's what the vampire money is if you're gonna take the vampire money. And they're now being very joking about that. Which, I mean, I think it's depending on kind of how you approach writing a song for a movie can kind of determine, like, I think there are ways to be clever about it. For example, I think Heathens by 21 Pilots kind of ended up being the only good thing about that Suicide Squad movie. I've mentioned that before. That's kind of what I think is, like, they were asked to write a song for this movie, and instead of writing a song that, like, directly alludes to the movie or any of its plot or any of the silliness of the movie itself, they took that opportunity to take the tones and sort of aesthetic of the movie, and make it into a song about their fan base, which is great. I think it's a great song. I think writing a song for a movie is a cool opportunity. I think it's a interesting sort of writing exercise, but again, if these boys weren't super into it, that's fair. There was a whole, like, wave of, like, anti-Twilight craze going on back then, and maybe it was a combination of that and the fact that they just weren't interested in the movie, which is also fair. But that is Vampire Money, and that is the end of Danger Days, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys. That was a great album. That was so much fun. I love that. I've been listening to a lot of concept albums lately between this and Sleep Token and Vox Arcanum. So I'm looking forward to listening to some, less, centrally narrative-based albums for a little bit. Maybe I'll throw another one or two in there. I only have so much control over what people write their albums about. So if I like an album and it ends up being a concept album, I'm not gonna not listen to it. But I don't want to get, I don't want to get cornered into the specific niche of just reacting to concept albums. I like to listen to whatever I want to listen to, or whatever you guys want me to listen to. If you want me to listen to more concept albums, I can. I just don't want to listen to just that, which is why every now and then I like to alternate between albums that you guys have suggested to me and then albums that I'm just excited to listen to that I haven't let myself listen to yet. There's a few of those on my list. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this reaction to this album. I don't know if I want to listen to more My Chemical Romance albums for the channel. Like I said, I've listened to their two big ones, Three Cheers and Black Parade, so I'm open to the idea of listening to their other work, but it's not going to be a high priority. But if there are other albums adjacent to My Chem stuff, then you can let me know. I put out polls on my Twitter and also on the community tab of my channel, where you can vote on an upcoming album reaction. So keep an eye on that. Would love to have more and more responses to that so that I have an idea of what the people want, and I can adjust my plan thusly. But until then, thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you can maybe leave a like. If you've got your own thoughts on this album, or you've got suggestions for other albums, you can leave those in the comments. If this is your first time visiting this channel, or you've been watching for a few times and you just haven't subscribed, this is a great time to do that. Would really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can donate to my Ko-Fi, help me pay my bills. Maybe if that does well enough, and this can become my actual part-time job. Not looking for this to go full-time, but if you can make a little money, that'd be huge. You can also buy some merch, including my What Are We Doing for the Bridge toque, down in the link in the description. Yeah, thanks so much. I'll see you later.